Call for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. Look at my throne, God has given me. I know who I am. I am counting down. I think we still got about a minute to go. So I'm just kind of jamming until my time comes. Where He says I'm at, I know who I am. Walking in power, walking miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. Walking power, I live a life of favor. I know who I am. Hey, hey. Hey. I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. Okay, I think it's about 6:45. This is when I slated to start my program, Roxann's Resiliency Life Class. Happy Sunday. Welcome, welcome to everyone who has joined, is about to join. So this afternoon we are about to start, like I said before, my program, Roxann's Resiliency Life Class. Now we have a very interesting topic this afternoon, and it's called Walk in Your Own Shoes. Now, if you know, you'll notice I'll be looking to the side. I have my notes here. The teacher and me, I like to have things organized, so I keep on par with the time and I keep focus. So this afternoon, we are looking at the topic, Walk in Your Own Shoes. And because this program is called Resiliency Life Class, I want to do two things before I move forward. I want to give you two definitions of resilience. Now, resilience, the first definition I have, resilience is the ability to mentally or emotionally cope with crisis and to return to pre-crisis status quickly. I'll repeat it again. Resilience is the ability to mentally or emotionally cope or to return to a pre-crisis state quite quickly. But the definition that I like mostly is definition number 2, that says resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. And when we look at what is going on at this time, we can see that indeed we need this type of capacity, right? I know I have audiences internationally at this time. I have folks who will be joining me from Jamaica, folks from Canada, folks from the USA, folks from the UK, right? And so I just want to make things clear so that everybody can understand. So let's talk about walking in your own shoes. Now, before I get into that whole topic of walking in your own shoes, I want to relate to you a story I had as a girl growing up. Now, like many folks that I've heard that came before me, share their stories, share their challenges, share some of the crisis and the trauma they have gone through in their lives at some point in their lives. Now I want to share a story that I had. Now, sometimes we don't want to share our stories because we feel embarrassed, or we feel like, it may be embarrassing to our families, and so sometimes we want to keep our stories private. But I want to share with you this afternoon one story that I can remember from my childhood growing up. I remember growing up when things were not so going so good, and I had one pair of red shoes. Now, every time I talk about this to my friends, they would laugh and laugh. But, I can laugh at it today because my circumstances and my situation have changed. But back in the day, it was no laughing matter. I had one pair of red shoe, and that one pair of red shoe had to be shared between myself and my younger sibling, my sister. So anytime we were going out, anytime at all we were going out, we couldn't go out at the same time. No, remember I said it was one pair of red shoe for the both of us. And if anybody know, when you're talking about a red shoe, right? Red doesn't match with everything, right? So if I'm wearing yellow, can you imagine? I will have to be in this red shoe. If I'm wearing purple, I'm in red shoe. If I'm wearing green, I'm in red shoe. Can you imagine the trauma, on me as a young girl, and thinking about what are my friends going to say, how much they're going to laugh at me for that one pair of shoes. So, every weekend when we would have our time to go out, I would have to go out this weekend, and then my sister would get the chance to go out the other weekend because, of course, it's one pair of shoe, right? And the both of us can't go out at the same time. Now, today when I look back, I have to really, be grateful and give God thanks, because when I look in my closet, when I look at how many different pairs of shoe I have, I just have to say, to God be the glory. I just have to smile. And I don't know, sometimes some of us, when we lack some things in our younger days, we tend to make up for it, when we get older. So I don't know if that is one of my rationale for having so many pairs of shoe. Some very expensive, shoe, right? And, at times you wear it, you put it on there. I have shoes now that I haven't seen for, over a year now. I wear it, I put it down because, I'm in Canada, so the seasons change, right? So I wear one shoe now for this season. I need another pair of shoe for that season. Back in the day, I had no such luxury. So thank God we only had like a sunny time in Jamaica, apart from the rain, right? And for those of you who grew up with me in Jamaica, you know what I'm talking about. When the rain came, as children, you don't want your shoe to be what we call mash up. You don't want your shoes to be destroyed. So we would take off the shoe, right? And we would prefer to hit our great big toe than to mash up our shoe, so to speak, right? We didn't want our shoes to break. So we would take the shoe off and we would bring the shoe in our bags or in our hands. Right? Today, when we look at how far we have come from, all of those things are classified as resilience, the ability to overcome those challenges. I want to share again, like, when I was younger going to school, and so many of you in the Caribbean, African countries can identify with me. I went to school barefooted so many times, right? Because we could not afford shoes. And this one pair of red shoe, let me just tell you, this is what we call our going out shoe, our good shoe. This is just our special occasion shoe. You can't wear this shoe everywhere. So you're going to church, that's your red shoe. You're going on the town, that's your red shoe. You're going to school, you better go barefoot, right? Or some other thing. Okay, so these are some of the challenges that we had to overcome when we were younger, and look at us today. We give God thanks, so we have to be grateful, and we look at how we overlived those challenges, of being teased by our colleague, of being teased by our classmates. All of those things made me the person that I am today. Very strong, very resilient. I'm not easily perturbed by things that people would want to say. So many kids nowadays are, being bullied, and you find that people would commit suicide because of being bullied. And you know what? I don't understand, because the background that I had growing up, they probably didn't have it, so they didn't learn to build up that character. So some of the times, I would say to my female mothers out there, it's not all the time we should shield our kids from all the challenges, because these challenges, these adversities will help them in the long run when they realize, that things are not always easy, when they learn to overcome difficulties, and they see that, yes, I overcame and I'm alive today. Okay, somebody teased me, of course, cry about it, whatever, you come home. But at the end of the day, you are still here. It means you overcame and you kept going. You kept going. And what do I say? Walk in your own shoes, right? Walk in your own shoes, for me, that theme says to me, know who you are. When I started this program, I started with the song by Sinach, I Know Who I Am. And let me tell you something. If you don't know who you are, I repeat it, if you don't know who you are, everybody is going to tell you who you are. People are going to try to tell you you're nothing. People are going to try to tell you you're no good. People are going to try to belittle you and try to keep you beneath them. People are going to try to tell you you're not in their class. People are going to criticize your skin color. People are going to criticize your hair. People are going to criticize your nose, your mouth. It's either going to be too big, too little, too something. So you know what? It came to a point in my life where I just shut out all the naysayers. I remember, when I was going to school, one time I was in high school, and they used to tease me about my big nose. And one day I said, well, you better make sure you're smelling good, because this big nose is going to pick up on everything, right? So all the better to smell you. Like, Little Red Riding Hood said, all the better to eat you with. Right? So, you pick up on things that you learn to use to defend yourself. When I was going to teachers college, I learned the term self-defense mechanism, and I never forgot that word. I learned that word in my psychology class. Self-defense mechanism. In other words, sorry, that phrase. Right? So you learn to build a tough character, like I say, resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulty. And the second part of the definition says toughness, the ability to spring back. You know what I mean? Of course, we can be torn. Nobody is saying that any one person has to be perfect. Nobody is saying that when you're being teased, when you're being challenged, when you're being called names, that you're not going to feel that emotionally. But can I tell you that out of all of my teasing, out of all of my limitation, out of all the different things that were thrown at me as a child, I was able to publish 3 books. Now, had I not gone through those challenges, I would not have had what to write in those books. And those books make me money today. Those books will make me money tomorrow and beyond, right? Because those books are on Amazon. Those books are Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, Exlibris.com. And it's out of the challenges that you birth your strength. It's from your challenges that you get your toughness, right? You build up what we call resilience, and you're able to bounce back. Today, I don't know what somebody can say today to make me feel any way out of sorts, right? Because I've developed this toughness. I've developed this steel of character. I've developed this, this mechanism, this self-defense mechanism. I know who I am. I don't allow anybody to tell me who I am. I know that I am made in the image of a great, mighty, and wonderful God. I know that I am an overcomer. I know that I am a victor and not a victim. I know that I have vim, vigor, and vitality. That is what I always say. That is my mantra. right? So nobody can tell me, oh, this is who you are, this is where you belong. When I step into a room, I own that space. Nobody is going to let me belittle myself and to act as if I don't belong there. I am who I am. I know who I am. I own who I am, right? And I have to declare that to myself every day. You know, sometimes like a practice that we can use is to look in the mirror and speak to yourself. You know, sometimes back in the day, they used to tell us that talking to yourself is not a good thing. But let me tell you something. Talking to yourself is actually a good thing. One person would say, the only thing, don't answer yourself. And you know what? I don't put anything off the table. I speak to myself. And I have to look in the mirror and I have to say, Roxann, you are strong. Roxann, you're intelligent. Roxann, you are beautiful. Roxann, you are resilient. Roxann, you belong here. You are important, right? You are magnificent. You're awesome. Now, when somebody asks me, how are you? I don't say, oh, I'm okay or I'm fine. When somebody says to me today, how are you? I say, I am awesome. I am wonderful, right? And you know, sometimes it takes them off guard and they're thinking, oh, even this morning somebody asked me, how are you? And I said, I'm wonderful. And the person said, wow, wonderful, eh? Wow, that is really over the top. But yes, you have to speak to yourself. You have to know who you are. You have to declare who you are. You have to build your self-esteem. You have to build your character. And you know, I don't know if it's because of my faith, and people of faith can testify that when you have a God that you believe in, when you have a faith, it makes you bold, it makes you fearless, it makes you fierce. And when I say fierce, I don't mean angry, I don't mean it in a negative way. It makes you strong. It makes you have, like, you know, that character of steel that stands up. That is why I don't take anything from anybody. Like, I don't give people my power, right? And let me tell you something. You own your power. Nobody can take your power from you. You own your power. Let me tell you, I can't be upset with anybody unless I choose to be upset. People can say whatever they want to say. People can do whatever they want to do. But if I choose not to let that affect me, it cannot affect me. Right? It's just sometimes when I get sidetracked and I may get petty and you fester and you think, no, what is wrong with this person? Huh? Why did they have to say that about me? Why did they have to say that about my skin color? Why did they have to say that about my hair? You know what I mean? And we get so mad. But listen, don't give anybody your power. You have to own your power, own yourself. It's what you choose, it's what you decide to give to people that they can take from you. You know, if somebody tells me today, like call me any derogatory names or talk about even my skin color or whatever, I don't have a sleepless night over that, right? I brush that off, I shake it off, I smile. If it's something I have to nip in the bud, I will tell them, look, I don't appreciate that, and move forward. But it's nothing for me to fester and to feed on because, like, as I said, I know who I am, and I've developed that toughness, that character, and that resilience in myself. And let me tell you, it's not because I am above anybody or I have any superhuman powers or anything that you don't have. We all have the ability. We have to choose what we respond to. We have to choose what we let affect us. We have to choose how we deal with the situation and the circumstances that we're faced with. And, you know, is the choice that we make that is going to take us forward. I thank you so much for those of you who had the time to spend with me. For those of you who didn't get a chance to join me live, you will get a chance to see this video when from my YouTube channel or from Facebook Live. But thank you so much. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous Sunday evening. Just take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental health. And remember, know who you are. Walk in your own shoes. Don't try to imitate anybody and just be your own self. Walk good. God bless you. Happy Sunday. And thank you for joining me for Roxann's Resiliency Live class. One love, everybody.